All right, good morning, everyone. My name is René Kriegler. I'm Chief Strategy Officer at Open Source Connections, and on behalf of my team, I would like to welcome everyone at Haystack 2025. Yeah. And also very warm welcome to our online audience. So in total, you would have like 250 people approximately attending this event. So that tells us it's probably half or more than half of the people joining us online today. So Haystack, it's always been, since it started in 2018, an event where the search community comes together, a community of practitioners and thought leaders in this domain, sharing expertise and also making friends a bit. And I've taken this photo from 2018. Yeah, so those with a bit of gray hair might remember this Random Row pub where we did the opening in 2018. And it's a bit dark here, but I hope you can still recognize it. And I would like to know, like at that time we were all first timers, how many of you are here today for the first time? Oh, that's quite a few. So then I would suggest we do the same thing like we did at the time in 2018. And Eric might remember, so we had this spiel where we would talk to our neighbors. Yeah, so I would like you to speak to your neighbors, and if you're sitting close to your workmate, turn around, yeah, introduce yourself, ask what they're doing, and online folks, please type into the Zoom chat from where you are joining us today and what you're doing in search. Right. All right. So I think there will be plenty of time to continue the conversation. I want to briefly ask my colleague, David Fisher, who's monitoring the Zoom chat, who is attending Haystack online today.
Let's see, we have Alexandra Feinberg, hello from Israel. Christian in Washington State. A number in the UK, including Simon Day and Charlie Hall.
Yeah.
Might hear that name again later, folks. Colorado, Brazil, New Haven, Connecticut. They could have just written down. And many more after that.
Excellent. So this is quite a huge community, and I'm very happy that everyone is with us today. I want to highlight a few members of the community, and I want to start with Sarah Matta. We are doing a community scholarship, so help people at the younger age in their career to join to this community, support them coming to this event. And Sarah is sitting right here, so maybe Sarah, you can tell us where you're coming from and what brings you to Haystack.
So I am originally from upstate New York, living in Georgia now. I am a full-stack software engineer and kind of recently realized, especially through losing my position late last year, it seems like a lot in this area in this like forte of tech don't know how bad the tech job market is right now. Tons and tons, particularly of devs and PMs, are not finding positions. And through that, I steered really heavy toward growing myself more, learning more. I've always been a lifelong learner anyway, and I'm realizing I have a predisposition for loving like data, math, all sides like that. I'm leaning more into that. So this is all still really new for me. I'm learning what things cross over and what don't, or new terminology that I haven't learned. And I'm loving how many times I see math on a screen here versus a dev conference, especially Sigma, because I have a thing for Sigma and comparing to a for loop in my tech talks. And I think that's kind of mostly it. I also wanted to give a note to, so some people know him, Dave McKay up here. I wanted to mention that he definitely pushed me to come to this. He pushed me to apply. He even partnered with doing freelance work, so I could also do a workshop on Tuesday. And I am learning and applying so much, and I'm really enjoying it. And if you have a math joke, I'm expecting them all day for a vlog I will be doing later. I'm going to be writing about a dev going to Search Conference soon.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah, and welcome. I also want to mention that we have donors for this scholarship. So a round of applause to Robert Mammerstein, Nef Matano, Tito Sierra, OC, right? And many more, and 3 more anonymous. Thank you. I want to highlight another member of the community, and that's a known face here. Yeah, and you might be wondering, hey, wasn't there another guy with a European accent doing this? So Charlie Hull, he's no longer with OC, but his heart with Haystack, and we are very thankful for all the work he's been doing for Haystack, and I think we should give another round of applause to Charlie, and he's joining online. And then be careful at Cardinal Hall if you try to juggle. I think this is Charlie's job, right? So not our layman's job. So Haystack has been around for some time, and I still remember when Doug chatted with me about the name at the time. Yeah, so Haystack, everyone gets the metaphor, and I really liked it when he came up with it. But actually, the haystack is the maze, right? So we've never actually spoken about the needle, right? So this is incomplete, but we are all after the needle. So we thought, if this is the haystack here, there has to be a needle somewhere. So somewhere in this room is a needle, and I would like you to try and find the needle in this haystack, in this room. So please look around, look under your seats. If there's an empty seat next to you, try to spot the needle.
There are buttons that, oh,
you
too
got
fast.
it. Yes, fantastic. Someone has it. There's a needle here. All right. So who found the needle? No, it's yours. So what's your name?
Jeremy Verlick. I'm from Wayfair.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Haystack. There's a needle here. Could you open it? The Bible. All right, a copy of AI-powered search signed by the authors. All right. So I think that's actually an item that we've long been looking for. Yeah, and I think that's a very, very nice example of a needle, a treasure when it comes to knowledge that's very applicable in our domain. And so I think AI-powered search should play a very important role here at Haystack. So we have a number of things lined up related to AI-powered search. So you can meet the authors. Trey, who's taking photos right now, and Doug both are in the house. There will be a book signing tomorrow morning, 8:30. And then for those of you who stay out for long tonight at Cardinal Hall, there will be another one at 1 p.m. There will also be a session, Ask Me Anything, with the 2 authors tomorrow at 10:15. And there's also a community around AI-powered search, which you will find under this URL. And I know that Trey is also sharing his teaching materials from yesterday, his training materials in this community. Trey has also put together a little conference app for us. So if you want to follow the conference, you can download the app or just join on the website using this URL or scan this code. And when you join, you can easily follow the program more easily. Trey has also brought a number of free copies of AI-powered search, which we'll hand out at several occasions. So for those people who join online, there's a chance to get an ebook when you join the community. For those who are here, you can also get a physical copy, but please make yourself known when you join. They will also hand out copies at the signing, book signing tomorrow morning, and during the AMI. I mean, it's not too many copies, so and not everyone will get one, but I think it's a great thing to get a copy here signed by the authors. So that brings us to the program of these 2 days. So there have already been a number of events since Monday. So the barbecue at Eric's. Yesterday we had some fantastic workshops. So what I've heard so far, people were quite enthusiastic about the workshops. Then we had a bar camp with search product managers, which I think was great and insightful. And today we are starting the main conference. We start right after this introduction. We start with a keynote on search, on innovation in the age of artificial intelligence. Then we split in 2 tracks, like always in this Violet Crown. So this is Theater 5. Theater 7 is a bit further to the left, obviously. And the 2 sessions will, well, the 2 tracks will happen in parallel, except for a few special talks. There will be lunch from 12:30 to 2 p.m. So you can make use of the downtown mall. There are a lot of nice restaurants there. And feel free to connect with people there over lunch. But be back at 2 p.m. At 4 p.m., right in this hall, in this theater, we'll do lightning talks. So the idea is that you can share some thoughts, ask a question, maybe promote your meetup, your search meetup at this time. But we need to organize this a bit. So my colleague Daniel Wrigley, who's right here, has started a thread on the Search Relevance Slack on the Haystack conference channel. And please reach out to him there if you want to give a lightning talk this afternoon. Yeah. All right. This brings us to the Relevance Slack. We will use the Relevance Slack to share updates about the event, or if you have a question towards the organizers, please use this Slack channel. For online folks, if you want to ask a question, you're very welcome to. Please do this in a Zoom channel. So there's one Zoom channel per theater hall, so that your question goes right to the speaker of that talk. So then tonight we'll have the reception at Cardinal Hall. That starts at 5:30, and it's at 722 Preston Avenue. People have sometimes struggled to find it, though all the locals say it's pretty easy to go there. So I tried to take some pictures, but I should have taken them on a more sunny day so that they would come out more easily here. But there are a few points where things might get tricky. So when you leave the Violet Crown, you go to the left to the end of the downtown mall, and then keep a bit right. Yeah, and a landmark, a very important landmark there is the whiskey jar. Yeah, so here, whatever your relationship with whiskey is, but it might stick. Yeah, so follow this path along the whiskey jar, and then more or less keep straight with a slight left turn at this point. So that's right after the whiskey jar, and then it's just up Preston Avenue until you see this building. I'm very sorry that this is hard to see, but it's a red brick building. All right, I want to hand over to David because at Cardinal Hall we'll also arrange meetings for mentors and mentees related to the IRL mentoring program. So that's a joint initiative of Open Source Connections and Women of Search. And over to David for logistics.
So I'd like to thank Audrey Lorberfeld for the initial idea that we should do this, and all of the effort that she and other members of the mentorship community have put in to collect 24, I believe it's 24 mentees, mentors, or both, including our scholarship winner, Sarah, who is actually going to be my mentee. And we're going to get together. We're going to take over one of the tables at Cardinal Hall this evening for everyone who's in the mentorship program, so we can all meet in person and actually get an idea what we want to do to make this program work.
Okay, thank you, David. All right, then tomorrow. We all come back here at 9 a.m. We have and then sessions. We'll have sessions from 9 to 4:45. Doors will open at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Lunch will be a bit earlier than today at 12. The highlights tomorrow, I think, is AI-powered search, book signing, Ask Me Anything, and you find all this info on the program, or all the schedule info on the program. Women of Search is right after lunch, and I'm very happy that we've been supporting the Women of Search group, I think, since 3 years now. You're welcome. All right, and then last but not least, tomorrow night we'll have a Birds of a Feather dinner. So I think most of you have signed up for a dinner here in Charlottesville. The way David looks at me, he has something to add. Please go ahead.
You haven't signed up and decide you want to go to one, reach out to me on the Relevance Slack, and I will hook you up.
All right, so seems like we have still some free spots there. All right, latest updates, as mentioned, you get them on this channel, Haystack Conference, on the Search Relevance Slack. Those of you who haven't joined the Slack group yet, it's a very valuable source for getting insights, discussing with like-minded people on search relevance. I haven't checked the numbers, but I think we should be between 5.5 and 6K people there, and I think this is a huge group. You also find a barcode on your name badge, and if you scan it, it will also get you to the program, to the website. And then last but not least, you're very welcome to report or share your impressions from Haystack on social media. And if you want to use a hashtag, HaystackConf would be the one that we've been using for years now. All right, so that was a lot of logistics and also a bit of a warm-up. I want to go a bit more into the subject matter of search now, before we go to the keynote. And I want to mention that this year we made the product perspective on search an important aspect of search. And I want to speak about why we did this and also what this has to do with this painting. Yeah. So at Open Source Connections, what we do is we are consultants and we help clients advance in their search and AI capabilities. And that means wherever they are in their journey in search and AI, we help them become better at it and go to the next level more or less, or help them with a concrete implementation. And if we look at this, we see recurring themes. Yeah? So problems that come to us, or certain stages in their development in which they approach us. And I want to argue that product is very important for them to go to the next level. And I want to share a few of those topics that they approach us with. So one is, and this is the classic, our search sucks. Can you have a look at our, whatever your search engine is, Solr, Elasticsearch, OpenSearch configuration? We can do that, of course, but there might be a much bigger opportunity that a team can have in search. And the way we look at this is we use this model, and I shared this model last year in this talk with Jeremy Hudson from Moody's, when we spoke about their migration to a cloud-first platform for their search and later a research assistant, a chatbot. And the way we look at this is the maturity of a search team expresses itself in a number of maturity areas. And I don't want to go through all the areas, but if you look at this, people often approach us from the implementation perspective. But in the end, the areas that define their efficiency and their access are what we've labeled here as the core. Yeah, so defined business objectives. So the alignment of search with the business side. But also, how well can they understand what users are looking for? Yeah? And then last but not least, in our domain, experimentation is so crucial. Yeah, so if you develop these capabilities, then you're in a very good place. And then the configuration might be one thing you might want to look at, but that might not be the most powerful thing that you could do. If you look at this, I think there's a line towards product. Yeah, so a product basically helps a user to solve a problem in the real world. Yeah, so that's nothing else than understanding user needs. When they send their query to us, it's to do a job in the real world. Yeah, so if you want to do a product, or if you want to do search, we have to look at search from this product perspective. But then the product is also there to make money most of the time, right? So the business perspective is the same thing. Yeah? So it also relates to the product side of search. And last but not least, product development usually is experimentation. Yeah? So we cannot throw out a product and expect everyone buys it. We have to make sure that we have room for experimentation to see what fits. I want to share another reason why teams approach us. And this is basically 2 weeks old. So I had a conversation with someone from a team, and they said, well, we've been doing LTR for so long, yeah, and we have a very good query intent detection team. For us, it takes a lot of time and money to reach at, let's say, 0.5% increase in conversion rate. Yeah, so they are so evolved, so mature, that there is not much room to go deeper and deeper and spend more and more money just to improve that. So they asked the question, is it worth to try and keep investing into these areas? And I've seen search teams being dissolved because they thought search is done. So as consultants, we can help them unstuck, but this again requires a change of perspective. Yeah, so maybe you have to think about what the user wants to do in the real world, and then your product in the end has or provides a different perspective or different opportunity how they can solve that thing that they want to solve in the real world through search. Yeah, so in this case, it could be maybe you want to look at providing questions how they could search. Yeah, or if your brand promise is to be a fashion company, you might provide some information about the latest fashion items, etc., and that make that a starting point for your search, or diversity of search results, etc. So zooming out, taking that product perspective can help you get unstuck. And last but not least, a company might say, we are creating an AI team. They will provide a platform and start with hosting a vector embedding service for other teams. Can you help us design and implement that service? Yes, we could. But is such a platform the right approach? If you think about it, we assume that AI becomes ubiquitous. Yeah, so that means each and every team has to do AI. Why create a separate platform and a platform team? Yeah, so if you think about it from the product perspective, they will never get into a flow to develop their product. Yeah, so maybe the better solution is here. You can still create an AI team, but that might be an empowering team that helps product teams to work faster on developing their products. So if you look at this, I think product perspective is shining through this in a number of times. Nevertheless, doing all the bits and pieces that make search successful are still very important. So I'm very happy that yesterday we met in this barcamp. We are search PMs, and I think this is a great start to move ahead in the space of search product development. And I'm also very thankful that the Women of Search talk tomorrow will also be around product. Yeah. So for the online audience, the question was, is there any output from the barcamp? Nothing as a material that we would share apart from maybe one photo. We forgot to take a selfie, by the way. But there's a Slack channel on the relevance Slack, so the group decided to continue. Valentin, sitting next to you, can also fill you up on this. So there will be an initiative, I think, around that. Yeah. So coming back to this, so I actually saw this painting maybe 10 days ago. In an exhibition called Kandinsky's Cosmos. Yeah, so that is from the time when painters thought maybe we don't paint or we shouldn't paint the concrete thing, the concrete object, but look into what constitutes a painting. The ideal shape. We reduce everything to the essence. And then they came up with compositions. Yeah, so they thought, almost to a spiritual level, they thought we compose things. Yeah, so these ideal shapes and colors should be brought together to form our painting. No interest in concrete objects. So this painting is by Alexandra Exter from 1921, and it's called Construction of Colors. And the explanation next to it said, yes, she tries to put together ideal shapes and colors, and they often remind of a cityscape. If you squint your eyes, you might recognize this a bit, maybe not in these colors, but if you look at my laptop or at the original, you might recognize this. And this reminded me a lot of what we do in product development. Yeah, so what we do in search and AI development. Yeah, we focus on all the pieces, a great LTR, a great configuration, a great platform, but we might lose sight of the object, of the objective, of the whole thing. Yeah, and for me this was like an metaphor that I could use here in this opening today. So let's make sure both sides are important, but we want to put a bit more emphasis on the product side here. All right, so these were my opening remarks. I want to hand over to Rick Hamilton, our keynote speaker today after a short break, how to connect this with our, or with this introduction. So I think nowadays, when we think about search and AI, the development of products in this space has new opportunities coming from AI. And together with AI goes this notion of innovation. So we find new ways of developing products, of implementing search. And I thought it's a really great idea to have Rick here today because of his long experience in this field. So he holds numerous patents and has been working in this field for a long time. I'll give another introduction to Rick in a bit because people might join online just in 5 minutes. So we set up Rick and then start